is the moment you've been waiting on. Once again, they back. The Chestnut Show. Y'all know what we do with y'all mama. Y'all know what we do with y'all head. But whatever you do, let's get this line of communication open. We got some things to talk about, y'all. Let's go.
Welcome. You're now tuned in to another episode of the Chestnut Show.
What's going on, everybody? It's Woody.
It's your boy Mike. What's poppin'?
So, back for another show. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic, which is...
Well, first of all, let me say this. Von is playing. He's playing hurt right now, so we appreciate you. We appreciate the effort you coming through. You know, the fans, the listeners, they want to hear. They want to hear what we got. So
that's what's up, man.
You know,
the effort you took. You know what I'm saying?
We want to throw that out there. We appreciate you playing hurt tonight.
Because you're BGs and all that.
Well, we didn't get no.
Oh, okay. All right. Word up.
But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into what we got, Von.
Shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
That's a loaded word right there.
Cardi B wins Hip Hop Album of the Year. Let's get into that.
Get into that?
So, she didn't even write any of the shit.
Okay.
How are you awarding this? I don't understand it.
It has to be record sales. It has to be popularity in record sales. It can't be any other reason.
So Grammys lose all their notoriety, all their credit for this shit, bro.
It can't be talent.
This
definitely, like, I don't seem like I'm hating, but I don't like her fucking music, man. Her music sucks to me. In my opinion, her music is fucking terrible. Now, do I mean I don't want her to not get any money? You know, be as successful as you want to, but the shit's trash though.
It really is.
I'm entitled not to like it, just like I'm entitled not to like certain movies or something.
Except when you're in the club, though. The Cardi B songs be hitting hard as shit.
Well, her producers deserve Album of the Year.
Absolutely, but as in having like talent or anything, it's like, where is this actually going? Like, what is the purpose of even becoming a rapper? Because at one point in time, it was an art form. Like a motherfucker was spitting something and it meant something. There was some type of substance to it. But if you're just talking about bags of money and ass twerking all day long, bro, what is the purpose?
Well, but
was Nas correct? Is hip hop dead though? Like,
well, I mean, I hear what y'all say, but
it's on life support.
And I agree with the majority of the points that you guys are saying. But to me, this is why I look at the Grammys. The Grammys are all about entertainment. It's all about business.
Right.
Cardi B, I mean, come on. I mean, no disrespect to Cardi B, but I will say this: if you hear Cardi B talk about issues, sometimes, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, she's not the most
brightest,
brightest articulate.
Right, she's not that, but
she's a character.
Somehow she can write these lyrics and this and that. And like I said, I haven't heard the whole album. I've heard bits of it, and the album is a good piece of work. I will say that it's a good piece of work by, like I said, by the producers, by whoever's writing these lyrics and stuff. Whoever's doing that, their efforts is what the Grammy basically is representing. Cardi B's talent is non-existent in my opinion. Cardi B was basically a stripper. They put it together, kind of like the crisscross thing, where hey, you see somebody has an image, you put them out there.
Well, she got the love and hip hop shit, and then
right
came to the album.
Right. So that's basically how she turned that hustle into winning the Grammy. Does it take away from the Grammys? I mean, I think so. I don't think great music or just like great movies, I don't think they really need awards behind them. The awards are just, I mean, I really don't know what substance they really hold. But what I'm saying with Cardi B is, whoever put her together, her album together, her lyrics, they got their just desserts with that Grammy. You know what I'm saying? Because we know hip hop music nowadays is not about individual talent. Because there's a lot of real MCs out there, what we call real, that nobody cares about or nobody hears or nobody even sees. You know, because I don't want to say
because they're not popular.
Right. But what the Grammys do is it can make those people. It's kind of like the Oscars. You know, when you basically you're watching the Oscars and you're looking at these movies that are winning, you're like, I've never even seen this shit at the box office.
Right.
Then all of a
sudden, never heard of them. Right. Exactly.
Everybody starts watching the movie to see what the Oscars are talking about.
And then usually when you watch the movie, you're like, what's the big deal?
Well, in my case, in that case, I do watch the Oscars to watch those movies. They got a lot of messages in the movies that win. I mean, whether they be racist or something like that, but like kind of like Precious. You remember that?
Right.
I don't remember. First of all, ain't nobody going to the movie theaters to see some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you can actually swing that on a date. You know what I mean? Right. But at the same time, when you watch Precious, there was a huge message. I thought it was negative as fuck, telling black women basically, you see how this woman's dealing with AIDS, a horrible family life, horrible economic situation, and she's still smiling. So why can't you? That's what I got.
Right.
From
No,
it.
and I agree with that angle.
Right, but it still basically made people watch the movie.
Just
because
be happy and be satisfied living in shit. You know.
Yeah, I watched
You
Precious.
actually watched Precious.
I saw it too.
I couldn't
thought
watch
was
it just because of
Mariah Lip
the name
Precious.
and the
lead actress.
yes.
I watched it. I thought it was. I thought it was a
it
good
just
movie.
didn't interest me.
I thought Monique did an excellent job. I thought the other lady. I still don't know how to say her name, but I thought she did an excellent job. I think everybody in there, for the most part, did excellent.
But when did you start? When did you watch the movie?
No, I seen it before the actual Grammys. Or not Grammy, the Oscars. I seen it before that.
But it was hype behind it, saying how great
After
the
that,
movie was. Right.
Yeah.
Before a lot of people. So the Grammys.
Well, for me, when I saw it because people were talking about like, yo, this movie is crazy. You got to see it. Monique was crazy. Like Monique was terrible in the movie. You got to see that. That's what brought me to it. It wasn't nothing. No award talk. And then, like I said, later on, all the award stuff started happening. But I saw it originally when it was
to see
about
how fucked up Monique was.
right, exactly.
So it wasn't because of the art. It was. Just,
I didn't watch.
I wanted to see. I wanted to
You
see.
want to
How,
see some
some
I
grind
just
shit.
want to see how how crazy.
But
it
the thing
was.
about that movie Moonlight with the young gay
See,
black
I still
man.
have never. I still haven't
Exactly.
seen
I didn't even know about that movie until the
Me neither.
Oscars came.
I didn't either.
Right. So when I say about the Grammys, it's like, okay, Grammys can actually be pathways to these artists in which we listen to. Like, man, this dude is not only talented, but he's got something to say.
Yeah, but that's not what it's designed for.
But wait, no. But that's what it was. That's the whole mention. When you think the Grammys or Oscars, you're like, they're picking the best of the best of the best.
That's what you think.
I think that with the Oscars, possibly. But with the Grammys, I'm thinking they're picking whoever is selling the most records. Whoever has the biggest name in that genre is going to get that award.
I guess so. But think about it. In a lot of years before this,
who did Cardi B go up against for Hip Hop Album of the Year?
was it Kendrick Lamar's Damn album?
And she beat out Damn. That tells you.
There was a lot of good, but like I said, the whole with the Cardi
J.
B
Cole.
thing, yeah, with the Cardi B thing, it was, to me, it was a testament to the production of the album more than the actual talent behind it, in my opinion. 'Cause
Right.
like I said, I think the album was put together well, and you have a team like when all these,
Better than Damn.
No,
Not even close.
Not better than that. But like I said, but if you look at Damn, or J. Cole, all the albums, if you put it in like the movie realm, Damn and J. Cole's album, they would be like the Batman movies. You remember the Batman movies with
They'd be a drama or
right. Well, they'd be like like with Christian Bale. Like those, hey man, those albums are nice. They're killing it. But the Cardi B album was like the Avengers movie. You had so much production and you had so much influence and the advertising, everything about Cardi B. Cardi B was pushed. That single, that Kodak Black, was that what, Bodak Yellow? Goddamn.
Yeah, but
Bodak Yellow was pushed as a single for almost a year, and then the album released last year. But that damn song played over and over, like, almost like mind numbing. So you got it. So she was really pushed with promoting and marketing, and then the production, everything was pushed on that album. That album couldn't fail. It was almost too big to fail. Right, exactly.
Right.
Everything behind the album is the
A&R
reason
team.
why it won a Grammy.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with Cardi B. It has nothing to do with Cardi B. It was everybody else.
isn't that not wrong though?
I mean, it is wrong
I see what you're saying with the Grammys. Look, what I'm saying is before the Grammys, literally, they had some substance to it. The people that won a lot of the years prior to this, not every year, but a lot of the years, you had who was it? Ludacris. Remember when he won? I mean, when you think about the Grammys, you had Michael Jackson winning so many. You had Kanye West, all these people, and you could see their work matched almost with how many Grammys they went home with.
Especially you see they were deserving of the award.
Right. Now it's like, okay, is it literally?
But there's so many hip hop legends that haven't won a Grammy. I don't think people look at them that way. Like, they don't look at, oh, you haven't won a Grammy with your album, that means you're trash. No, to me, winning a Grammy just means you have mass appeal. more than anything.
That's why I say record sales and now streaming.
Right, you're a household name. If you win a Grammy,
if you got
you're
the
a
most
household
streams,
name.
you're gonna win.
So the Grammys are bullshit. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
To the music, for music, it's all about production of the
popularity.
team. Like when Adele won and people like that. Like when they win. I mean, the music, they're talented musically.
That Adele album. The production was hard.
Right, but the production.
That's what don't give me that look. Yeah, I listened to
the production and the promotion around the album. It warrants that. It warrants that. You know.
But I can't really think of.
I don't think they're looking at how the album was pieced together. I think they're looking at, well, who the fuck is buying this album? Is this album? Is it relevant? Is it here? Is it being played here? Is it being? Who the fuck is buying this shit? And
are they trying to basically pander to the black audience? That's what it seems like it's doing now. It's like damn well Damn was out. I don't even know how you even put those two albums on the same scale. But let's be real, like Cardi B appeals to that black.
But but it's white people who playing her shit.
Right, the white people buy them.
Exactly.
It's pop culture who's streaming her shit and pushing her out there like that.
And Kendrick
is not that.
Right, Kendrick and J. Cole, it's so dense that you have to literally either be close to the streets or from the streets to kind of understand that music. But that's what rap is. It's like the CNN to the hood. Like, it's almost like it's basically taking the shine out of it. That's all I'm saying. It's almost like the Grammys was meant to at least show favoritism, not favoritism, but to shine a light on things that, I don't know. I felt like...
The Grammys should be recognizing artists who have worked and put in... I don't want to say she didn't work, because she did work, but she's just not... I don't know.
That's Milli Vanilli. You might as well just say you gave Milli Vanilli... Like, it's okay for Milli Vanilli to get those Grammys.
Yeah.
And call it... It's the same shit.
Well, but I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at how things are in real life. We'll take it back to the military, military term. When you in the shop working... You could be the best worker in the shop. Like your fitness was good. You knew your job. You were good with a wrench, whatever. You were good on your job, the best in your section. So then you win your shop. Then you go to the flight. You win that. Then you go to the squadron. Then you go to the group, whatever. But you see the ones who win, like the Air Force level or whatever, or even the base level. It's not necessarily the best performer. It's the one that they see the future for, and they can keep pushing this individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to start doing other shit, which really takes you out of your real element, which is your job, and you got to be like this whole person
I
concept.
See exactly
you know what I'm
you're saying? Right.
That's what they're looking. They're looking to latch on to a superstar. And you see Cardi B doing Super Bowl commercials. It won't be long until she's doing more movies and everything else. That's who Cardi B is going to be for a while. I mean, and that's what this Grammy is, like the opening door to that shit. So it doesn't necessarily Cardi B. This Grammy does not mean Cardi B. If you got Cardi B in your album or on your playlist, you have the greatest album of last year on your playlist. No, it just means it's the one, like Von said, it's the most popular. It's the one that's been promoted. It's been pushed. That's what you're winning. You're winning
a popularity contest.
Then why the fuck do we have the Grammys?
Because people want to feel popular.
Well, the Grammys are
Thank
only
you for that.
Yeah,
Right.
The Grammys are only really popular because they push it. Hey, it's Grammy week. That it means the big. They say the Grammys mean something, so people think they really mean a lot more than they.
I never watched the fucking Grammy ever.
Right, me neither.
Because I don't see the point of it.
No,
all those award shows, they're all the same. And you saw when I didn't see the whole Grammy.
I just watched Source Awards.
But I saw a little bit when Drake was talking. I guess they cut him off because he was talking about how these awards don't really mean shit, and they're like, oh, cut that.
Oh, they put that wrap it up box.
Right.
Yeah. They don't mean shit while I'm holding this motherfucker. I'm gonna take it.
But that was like the realest shit that you could say though. Like, this shit don't really mean what they want y'all to think. So love who you love, support what you gonna support all music. That should be what the Grammys is about.
And actually, yeah, I read. I didn't actually get to see his speech, but I read
and
everything, and that's cool, man. You need to redeem yourself after that last shit. Yeah. Continue, brother. Continue.
After the Gucci face before the sweater came out.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, to me, do I have a problem with Cardi B winning? I know, because it's not Cardi B who really won the album of the year or whatever it was. What was it? Hip hop album of the year or was it album of the year? It don't matter.
It's gonna be hip hop album of the year.
Right. It don't matter what it was. I don't have a problem with it because it's that
You don't
doesn't
really
matter
see
in the
and you don't have credit. You don't actually have stock in
Yeah,
Grammy's
don't mean
opinion.
shit.
right. I could care less.
I did though. I literally did. You
But that's cool.
Remember
I
those
don't care.
pictures with Michael Jackson with the orangutan or something on his shoulder, and he's holding like 9 Grammy awards with
But-
one of the best albums
But that's
ever
different
created.
though. But,
like
but that's different though. I mean, even Michael Jackson.
I think at one point in time the Grammys shifted.
that's what
to
I'm saying.
Being where it
Rather it was-
recognize the artists for the work that they did, like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and others like that. To now, you're the most popular in your genre and you have the most followers, whatever the fuck. And
So what does that tell
talent,
other?
but talent doesn't equate to success nowadays like it used to. In my opinion, like it used to.
I see, yeah,
When you had
I agree with
you
that.
had albums in the 70s and the 60s, you actually had live bands playing and people writing their own music and spending all night getting things together. And then all of a sudden, you started changing to just production. Like, hey, we got everything together. Just come in here, sing this or rap this or whatever. It's all set up. We got the music videos and like back then you had to sing or whatever you did, rap, whatever. You had to tour. And it was a lot of that stuff was based on what you were bringing back. Like, hey, this person is the #1 seller when they tour around the world. Their music plays on the radio more than anybody else. But nowadays there's no need for the radio. There's no need for any of that because it's all social media buzz that moves stuff. I mean, most people don't really even go to concerts like they used to because there's no need for it. So a lot of these big artists don't really tour and do this stuff like they used to because it's not a factor in what they're doing in their music because the music is not necessarily most music nowadays is digitally created anyway, so as long as you got some nerd sitting there that can press keys and play a little bit right, then you can create an album, and everybody has a piece of that nowadays. Back then you didn't have too much of that.
That's crazy. When you're right. I agree with that totally, but that's crazy because that says a lot about the music. It literally turned into like fast food type shit. Like it's not filling. It's just some shit you listen to and then you're done with.
that's
in the
why
next
they
2
put so
months.
many albums out or so many songs that's coming out because it's just pumping the shit out with
There's
no
nothing-
effort or thought behind it.
Right?
And I kind of blame Jay-Z for that shit.
Oh,
No,
that's-
Jay started dropping an album a year.
Yeah. Every summer.
And then other artists start trying to keep up with that pace, but their shit was trash though.
Yeah.
And now it's just, well, consumer needs this, so let's just push this shit out there. And now people are so fucking lazy that they accept 90% of the bullshit that comes out. Just because if you have a name, like Kanye, his last album, was it good?
I think it was. Oh, here we go.
Was it his best work?
Hell no. Hell no. Not even close. But it was better than.
But I honestly believe, I'm just using that as an example. Kanye or anybody with a name that has a history of having maybe good music can now just put out whatever the fuck they want to.
And people want to
Based off
gravitate
their
to
name, it's gonna sell.
Now I'm glad you brought up Kanye because I do want to say something about Kanye. Listening to Kanye West, listening to like College Dropout up to his last one, Yay or whatever. I will say this about Kanye: he's a real artist. Most people hate him, and he says some stupid shit. I agree with all that, but Kanye West may be the most artistic genius. He may be like right now, like in this section, not all time. In this section, in the modern era, he may be the GOAT of music. And what I say is this: the reason why I say that is this: if you look at the way he's transformed and changed with the time, like Kanye, if you listen to every one of Kanye's albums, it will sound like you're listening to 8 different artists. You see what I'm saying? Like he's changed through all of them.
His first 3 are very similar.
They are, but I mean,
the drop off or the change didn't occur until 808 and Heartbreaks.
right? But that's what I'm saying.
Mom
You say the drop off, but some people look at it as he became more artistic. He really got into his work.
I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but
Right? It's different.
Wait.
It's different.
Now,
But it's
was
still,
it because it was not bumping them hard ass? That's the problem. Is because
Right,
whenever
he changed. That's what I'm saying. He changed.
people were expecting like the same kind.
did
Whenever
you like that album?
which one 808s and Heart? No,
when I first heard it,
I
I thought it was trash. But the reason why I say that
That
because
RoboCop
I
song
recently
was
listened
big,
to
man.
a bunch of all his old shit, and I was like, yo, this dude is he's the definition of a genius when it comes to music. It's not straight up. I'm right, and I think that's the problem with a lot of people. Like Nas nowadays, I think the reason why people hated his last album so much, even though Ye worked on it with him, is
it didn't match.
He hasn't changed. He hasn't grown. He hasn't evolved. Kanye has evolved. I mean, no matter what people say about the dude, has evolved from college dropout to Ye. The dude is transformed.
Yeah, he has.
You know,
I will give you that.
It's the craziest
and
shit.
it's hard for people to take in Kanye due to the fact that those first 3 albums you're talking about.
First 3 albums was
hard. They all sounded the same though.
Yeah.
Well, you could see the progression,
right?
Because the first one was basically old R&B samples just sped up to this and that, and then all of a sudden it changed a little bit more to more melodic tunes and guest stars, and then it did the same thing on the third album, and then
the third album is where it started to get more a little like
that was a different one.
Yeah, with the Drive Slow, with Paul Wall and all those beats were like it was crazy, but that shows a sign. You're right, of a true artist, somebody that can actually change. Not only that, the ill part is Kanye actually changed the rhythm of music. It wasn't him following something; it was him changing the landscape. And then listen, if you can stand it, listen to Life of Pablo, man. With that Father I Stretch My Hand, and that's where that's where the first designer shit came out. That Bleach My Asshole line just fucked it up for me, bro.
But I'm saying, that's the artistic part of it.
Bleaching assholes?
Yeah, think about what he's saying.
Oh yeah, if I bleach my if I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm being an asshole. Like, no, bro, them lyrics was whack.
But you understand what he meant? He said if I just fucked a model, and she just bleached her asshole, and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like why? Because I got bleach on me. I'm the asshole. Kanye's not on level 1 lyrics no more. He's not. Now most people don't like it, and they may hate it.
Shit.
And they may think it's trash.
Wait, I just got that.
I'm telling you, this was the.
But Sci-Hi's writing that shit though.
Well, whoever's writing it, it don't matter.
Right. Damn, that was
The
hard.
dude is transforming. He's transforming himself. Most people aren't doing that. Most people aren't trying to change that much who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like most people aren't comfortable with doing that. And the dude has done it. So he
deserves a Grammy? Is that what we're getting at?
Well,
I think he did for Ye. I don't think. See, y'all ain't feeling Ye. I didn't
say Ye was bad.
Ye was hard. Ye was hard out.
It's different. It's different. It's not for the mass, but that's what I'm saying.
No, it's
Ye
not
is not for the masses.
Masses, right?
It's not. It's a different level of entertainment.
He's making music to, I guarantee you, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're gonna be able to look back at that album. It's the same thing with the other one with the Black Klansman. What was the name?
Yeah, the one.
I liked the album, but when people heard it, it was like, man, this shit is trash.
Yeah, but you can't listen to it like you listen to a regular hip hop album.
But if you
that's the difference.
Right,
Which record are you talking about?
It's the one. What's it? Yeezus? Was it Yeezus?
Yeezus.
I never listened to Yeezus.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Once 808 and Heartbreaks came out, like I literally stopped fucking with Kanye.
But that's what I'm saying. That's when Kanye.
But I hear him like on a song here and there, like White Dress or what. I love that fucking song.
Which one?
Is it White Dress or Wedding Dress? Where he's talking about him and Kim.
Was it on the Ye album? I really don't even know all the damn.
This is one song I've heard.
Right.
I've heard like shit here and there, and it's like that.
But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. People want that because when he starts sounding like the old Kanye.
No, it wasn't even the old Kanye. It was just
when he's lyrical.
Right, and that's
he was lyrical.
And he deserved a Grammy for that album. Only because I said he changes the landscape. You have to give incentive to that. Rather than listening to Cardi B, she wasn't saying the beats weren't some shit that was out of this.
But the Cardi B formula was the same. You know, have this catchy beat, this hip hop catchy beat. Okay, white dress. Yeah. It was the same formula. These beats, you rap something catchy. You know, like just kind of repeat, real repetitive type shit. Not too lyrical, and just have feelings like club hits throughout your album and people, and then. On top of that, with the promotion where we putting you out there, everybody's seeing Cardi B. Everybody knows something about Cardi B. All that stuff pushes to win a Grammy. It has nothing to do with talent, nothing else. It's all that shit pushes to be a Grammy.
And it's everything, including the bullshit with Quavo, the husband.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking,
so this
her fucking personal drama has helped sell records and get her a Grammy.
Right.
That's fucking
beef
ridiculous,
with her and Nicki Minaj.
Because this is allowing people like.
But you can't
Blueface.
But you can't get trapped in that shit.
You don't like Tatiana?
Man, Joe,
I think that shit's garbage. I think it's garbage, but I will say it has a place in hip hop.
No, it does not. I don't know what's not done.
Mike, I'm just telling you.
No, she's opening the doors for this bullshit. She literally is, man. Let's think about it. Think about this.
But this dude's been around. I guess he's been around for a little while.
That dude is look, man. I don't give a fuck how long he's been around.
If he
That is trash.
He's supposed to be playing college football right now. He's supposed to be a quarterback, but he got hurt.
Yeah,
Shit didn't go right.
Yeah.
I do believe it's trash. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also stating that there is a place in hip hop for this.
Oh,
This is the problem, Mike.
It's just like Snow or Informer in the
like our Post Malone, the
there's
new
always
Snow,
some
Post Malone
whack-ass
and shit.
Person, but now there just seems to be an influx of whack.
Hold
But
up,
see,
though.
Mike.
Informer was whack, though.
Do you like the Informer?
Bam. Oh, you must be crazy.
Man,
You
you miss
tripping.
me with that shit. I fucking hate Snow.
But that's the thing. There's things that people like. There's things people don't like. But here's the deal. This is hip hop is not a continent. It's a planet. Each continent on the planet is different. There's different genres on the planet.
Absolutely, I agree.
Now
with
there's
that.
some real lyrical, real talented folks on the planet, and then there's some YouTube bullshit dance creating shit on there too. But it's all a planet. Like you need everything on the planet. But the thing is, the funny thing is that shit in between is what allows real MCs or real hip hop artists, what we think, to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like they drop it every once in a while, but in the meantime, the filler is the rest of this bullshit that keeps hip hop going. If hip hop was that strenuous and they said, look, or strict, and they said, look, if you're not lyrical, you're not writing your own shit, you're not X, Y, and Z, you will not be played anywhere. Hip hop would have been dead, literally dead.
Hip hop would be that if black people were in charge of hip hop.
That is a huge.
The music that's being pumped up. There's nobody who owns these labels is black that's pushing this shit.
Right, but that's the thing. There's no. But that's the thing. There's been so many artists, but nobody owns hip hop. Like we say, it's like the NBA. There's been so many great black players, but nobody really owns teams besides
Pepsi
Michael
owns
Jordan.
hip hop. Fucking
right.
Nike owns hip hop. Commercial America owns hip hop.
Right, they do.
And
But that's what gives hip hop its life.
Owns hip hop.
Right, that's what gives hip hop its life. If it wasn't for that, hip hop would have been died. If the white people weren't fucking with hip hop,
commercialism of hip
there'd
hop,
be no hip hop today.
It wouldn't be around. No.
Right, yeah, and that's the
So we supposed to just accept the evil.
No, you enjoy hip hop how you enjoy
I
hip
guess
hop.
you enjoy the
true.
good with the bad.
The problem is we need to start spending money on hip hop. That's what it is. It's like why do we give a fuck what black people say if they're the ones not going to the concerts or buying the CDs?
Because we don't buy the CDs and we don't. I know certain people don't buy stuff. But
What is this, a snitch out? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
But that's what I'm saying, man. We got to actually get more because
I actually buy records every once in a while. I buy if it's an artist I like. I'll get
Yeah, I bought my last record was the 444 album. I went to go buy that shit.
I don't know the last record I bought, but
oh, I know.
You know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
But yeah, I can see what you're saying though. I can see what you're saying that basically this has nothing. The Grammys have really nothing to do with talent in hip hop. It's just basically who's basically making the most money at the time.
Who's the most popular person.
Right, but that's what we don't like about hip hop is what keeps hip hop around. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's a necessary evil. We don't like that shit, but that shit keeps
You're right,
it out there.
We shit on Soulja Boy, but let's be real. During that time when that Superman shit came out, and we was just like, especially me, I was just like, man, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, this shit is horrible. But it actually opened.
The ringtone rap.
Right. It opened. It allowed real MCs. You're right. Give a fresh breath of air once in a while.
It also opened the door for a bunch of other fuck ass people too.
That's what I'm saying though. It's a double edged sword.
It opened the floodgate.
Right, hip hop. Like hip hop was a door, and then that broke all that shit down. It was like a dam, and everything flooded through. Everything. We got some shit. It was like them tsunamis. When them tsunamis came in, there was some crazy looking shit we ain't never seen before. And that's hip hop now. That's hip hop now, you know. But that's just the way the world. But that does not take away from real artists really putting together real shit.
So basically, what we're saying here is the Grammys is full of shit.
If you if an art like if Jay never won a Grammy, has he won a Grammy?
I don't know. I
know
he got a lot of good MCs.
He got nominated.
There's a lot of good rappers and MCs that don't have Grammys, but if they didn't,
he did win a Grammy for the Blueprint album. I think he won a Grammy for that.
But anyway,
we should have fact checked that, but
it
is what it is. It is what it is.
It's just don't shout it like that. But a lot of rappers were not getting Grammys. They should have stopped them. If it meant something to not have a Grammy for your career, then why keep going?
Well,
because it doesn't matter.
Right.
They keep going.
Right. Winning the Grammy is not like winning.
It's not the end
an
all be all.
It's not like winning the NBA championship or a Super Bowl. It's not like that. That doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame of music. It just solidifies like, hey, at this time, on this date and this time, you were the biggest
Act.
thing in the music, right?
Act or whatever.
Right, or one of the top. That's all it means. That's all the shit means, you know. And I think that's the problem too. Like we reverted back to like guys like Michael Jackson and them dudes back in the day. Like, well, if you're winning all these awards, that proves that you're the best. But it's not like that anymore.
Hard Knock Life Volume 2, which is a hard ass album. He won the best rap album, Grammy.
Cool. There we go.
444 doesn't win one though.
Well, this
is what I'm saying. It's like almost like they're also promoting bullshit.
But that's the thing. When 444 came out,
how many of us agree Illmatic is a classic album?
Oh, I definitely believe that.
Did Nas win a Grammy?
No,
I don't think so.
No, he didn't.
If a Grammy meant something, then Nas would have quit right then and there when he didn't win it.
I see what you're saying. So they even know themselves it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So transitioning
so we shouldn't put that much into it. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and jump into the latest, which you can throw hip hop into it because a lot of them niggas is wearing the shit. Gucci. And it's blackface turtleneck that came out and the whole backlash from that.
Gucci gang.
Now, I don't understand. I brought it up because I don't understand I guess because people forget really quick. Like as soon as some shit happened, maybe 2 months later, it's out their mind. This ain't the first time we've had some fuck shit with a name brand
fashion and stuff.
Yeah, Tommy Hilfiger,
which he still denies to this day. But I mean, who really cares?
Yeah. The wine or not the wine. What was the wine that Jay-Z stopped promoting? Because the owner said, I don't want those big lips sipping on my fine wine.
Right.
Those big.
But that's billionaire talk, man. If this is the thing, if that outrages you, if you lose your mind because you hear a multi-billionaire say some shit about minorities or women or anything or handicap or homosexual, if that shit blows your mind, leave the planet. I mean, now listen to what I said. I didn't say tolerate it. I'm just saying expect the shit. That's just how a lot of them dudes, women included, think.
Why do you think
that's how they feel?
Where does the origin come from? Where does that come from? What do you think those people are being subjected to where they're like, you know what though? I think Gucci did this on purpose.
Probably.
I think they did this on purpose. It's like, honestly, first of all,
is this a PR stunt? Is this to sell clothes?
I think they just want niggas to stop wearing their shit.
Probably.
I think, because it's like, think about it.
But according to Floyd, he's not going to stop wearing that shit.
Yeah, Floyd
of
and somebody else
is Floyd rich enough to where he's no longer black? Is he rich enough to where it just doesn't matter because he has his money and
that man better
refuses to identify with a struggle?
Yeah,
he needs to save that shit. I seen your uncles and daddy, bro. You ain't gonna you gonna
really,
be ugly as a motherfucker.
Floyd feels like he doesn't have black people problems anymore.
Right, he's
he
an
don't.
elite
because he's
an
rich.
elite. Right.
Because black people's problem, when you look at them, are all tied to poverty or struggle in some way. And so, if I'm not struggling, then how am I black really? How can I relate to you? Like, and truth of the matter is, think about this though. How many niggas you know? For example, when I've been to a Gucci store, right? There's Gucci products that don't actually have the Gucci label on it, right? That white people purchase. Meaning as in, you'll see a shirt that doesn't have the big ass Gucci symbol in the middle.
You just see you're going to see the color, the green and blue.
Exactly. But then when you see black people wear it,
right? That shit is
displayed. I'm wearing a 200. Let's be real, man. You can buy a Gucci belt for $200.
Yeah.
And a Gucci shirt for another $100.
Bought a Gucci belt, which we all know was fucking swap meet belt.
Right.
It's just the fact that it was quote unquote Gucci. I'm like, why wear something that's fake? First of all, and why wear something you can't afford if it was real?
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing.
Exactly. So if if black people aren't the people that are actually buying this shit.
Right.
We're not.
Right. How the fuck?
It's not
it's
going
a
to do it.
small percentage of the black people who are really buying real shit.
Right.
Exactly.
Everybody else, if you're boycotting Korea and every other swap meet that bootleg shit that you can fucking get.
Right. So if I'm sitting there and I'm Gucci, like you just said, a billionaire looking at him like, damn, these niggas is fucking up my shit. Like, you got niggas tucking the t-shirts in behind Gucci. That's not how they was meant to be worn. Of course, I'm like, let me throw this sweater out there so these niggas can stop wearing my shit.
Yep.
It's not like you're fucking up my bottom line because you don't buy my shit.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Because white people are still going to buy Gucci. They're still going to support. The people it's intended for are still going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Easy.
Because most of them aren't black and they're not offended by that sweater.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You could have released that sweater in green and blue and nobody would have ever put two and two together. The fact that you made sure it was black with the big thick lips on it, you knew exactly what. And first of all, who the fuck is going to buy a sweater like that?
White people.
No. Even white people are not going to be walking around with just the lips exposed.
White Europeans probably would.
Well, here's the deal, though, Mike. There's a lot of white people that live in areas where there's nothing but white people.
Yeah, and they get away with that shit.
You can walk around with that shit. You know, I mean,
you would have the lamest fashion sense to buy some shit like that.
Right, but that's
why they make shit.
But
like
a lot of that shit is not about the fashion; it's about the label. You know, so it can look ugly as hell, but it's still Gucci.
Oh, you're still Gucci. I see what you're saying.
Like, it's about people can look at you and say,
like the Yeezys, like they ugly, but
like the Balenciagas. I've seen Balenciagas in a fucking Caesar's Palace and shit in Vegas that are fucking $2,000 and they're ugly as fuck.
That's ridiculous, man.
But people buy that shit.
Right, and
because
that's
it's Balenciaga.
And that's the thing. That's the status of it. That's what you wear and what you drive and where you live should be a outward reflection of inner wealth, tangible wealth, I should say, not inner wealth. Because if you have a $500 belt, shoes, $1,000. So basically, being hood rich is the way we live. So it's not gonna affect anything what Gucci does because, like I said, we want to look like we have the M's in the bank. In reality, all we have in the bank is debt. For a lot of people that wear that shit, it's a lot of debt in the bank.
Because you're not supposed to be able to afford it if you can't afford it.
Right.
You're right.
And then
you're
you
right.
scratch and say, like, so yeah, I can understand why Gucci. I'm not saying it's right, but it's literally like he wanted us to stop wearing his shit, and he did a great job of doing it. At the same time, not appearing to be overly. Oh, I made a mistake. But
and that's the thing. Like we talk about it like, man, you see what Gucci's doing, or whoever's in charge of the shit. But they may have done, like you said, did it on purpose. Like, look, we really don't want them
wearing our belts
any of
with
our
this
shit. Like, what are we gonna do to stop these niggas from wearing our shit?
Right.
Why don't we throw some racist shit out there?
And that came out and like kind of.
And then we take a hit. Like, come on, you ain't taking no damn hit.
Because we ain't buying it.
Right.
You buying $200 belts every fucking 6 weeks. Like, no, these niggas ain't.
And then to make it better, you hire Dapper Dan as a consultant.
To clean up the mess.
Yeah, to give you that credibility with the black community.
So you actually still keep the white people that would have been like, oh, this is fucked up that you would do this to black people.
Also think about this shit though, Mike. This is they took the target off them. Because let's be real, a lot of people get a lot of this shit that fell off the back of trucks, and even if it's legit, it's flipped over to you for a fraction of the cost. So if nobody's fucking with Gucci, nobody's hitting Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like if they get a back of a truck and there's a lot of shit in there, there's some Gucci and there's some other shit in there, don't fuck with the Gucci. They're gonna leave the Gucci shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm just gonna go
that falls in their
on
profit
the line
loss.
saying that most people have bootleg Gucci any goddamn way.
Right.
And exactly.
Yeah. You getting it out of a fucking weave store. If you get your shit out of a fucking store that sells hair products, it's not fucking real.
Yeah. But then think about the white person that's like, I bought Gucci's. Then you driving down the street and you actually make the wrong turn and you see 6 niggas slew-footed wearing Gucci belts. He's like, wait a minute, I don't know about this. I don't know about this Gucci thing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they did this shit on purpose to keep us from wearing the shit. I don't think it was done.
Now, 50 had a video on his Instagram where he burnt a Gucci t-shirt.
Why?
A t-shirt.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Does he get a refund for that shit?
No, he had all the clothes in a pile on the floor, and then he had a t-shirt over it, and he lit the t-shirt on fire, and people was watching the shit. And then I'm thinking, it's like when people burnt Nikes and shit like that. Burning some shit that you paid for to do this fucking stuff.
It makes no goddamn sense.
He already got the money.
Right.
Yeah, you may have the money, but still.
It shit ain't worth nothing no way. Like,
donate
it. You bought it, you wore it.
Give it to
I
fucking
can buy that shit. It's not
Yeah,
brand new.
you know what? You want to burn
There's
them.
some homeless niggas out on a bench that could use some fucking clothes.
You know what would be ill too? And you be shitting on Gucci if basically you saw a bunch of people walking around with Gucci
Go down
outfits.
the skid row, drop some clothes off, and let the motherfuckers have it.
And Gucci fits. And then people got to see that, and then take pictures and post it.
Yeah, like I'm not wearing what the homeless is wearing. Shit.
Exactly.
You're right, but that's the smartest shit that. Hey, somebody need to contact them dudes if they really want to make the change.
Yeah,
somebody need to contact somebody.
Just burning some
shit.
And
I originally heard that when T.I. called for the boycott, that it was only for 3 months. Stop buying Gucci shit.
Man, T.I. needs to shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, T.I., you can stop buying legit Gucci shit. You can stop doing that shit.
You spend, what, what do you say, $500,000 or some shit like that every year on Gucci? Bro, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that,
like,
you're looking dumber than the niggas that put out the racist shit.
Exactly.
You look even more foolish.
My gosh, bro, this dude don't stop though. Honestly, T.I. is not stopping. First, the restaurant shit, they didn't let me in. This is racist, bitch. What happened to you when you was releasing all them goddamn albums? Let's be real. T.I. had a huge influence on the black community. I remember them albums, bro. And to a weak,
Rubber Band Man.
to a weak nigga, to a weak black man, that shit can influence the hell of their life. You even had a song where you actually taught them step by step how to sell coke and save your money.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you try to fight for the black man. Just shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of them just need to shut the fuck up. You ain't been black in a while. Let's be real. And I don't blame you though. If you walking around or you don't have to worry about the same shit that most black people have to worry about, economic situations, all that other shit, then just stay out of it.
Right.
Really, because you just exacerbating the situation. Because if I'm on the other side of this looking at the representatives for black people, it's like, these niggas some hypocrites.
But you know what the bad thing is too is you got the social media warriors, man, and if these guys don't say shit, that's almost worse than saying some shit for it, like being pro it. Because if you don't say shit, because like you said, with these people that they're very influential to a lot of minorities or youth today. So if they don't say some shit, if they don't come out and say some shit against it, you might as well be agreeing with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of pressure to come out and say something.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right.
They have an obligation to say something, even though they may not care.
Yeah,
they have to.
But you got to go out. It's like a little
their image, their persona has to be protected.
Little PR promo or some shit.
Well, Drake. I don't think Drake is probably the biggest rapper to ever do it. I don't think he said anything about any type of social issue ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. And he's still somehow going platinum every time he releases. So it doesn't.
Drake appeals to white people. A lot of white people.
Right.
Yeah, he's always going.
He has a wide base, but I would say there's more Caucasian fans than black fans.
You talking
about?
Could be
wrong.
The money paying ones.
Yes.
Right, but that's with any rapper. Their base of where they get their money from is going to be from the white population. It ain't going to be from us. We ain't buying albums. Let's be real.
Yeah, someone.
And we ain't going to concerts. We might go to the club. They listen to that shit. We ain't going to no concerts.
Go to State Farm and listen to that shit once they old as fuck. State Fair. Walk through the damn stable and barn to go see them at a state fair.
Yeah, you're right.
I ain't going to the arena. I gotta fucking pay parking and shit.
Yo, is that a colostomy bag? Is that for
Damn.
Right, word.
But so
that's our take on Gucci. You know what I'm saying?
In any of these, if you want to boycott, whatever, that's your.
It just
choice,
means it really just means nothing.
Yeah, you're not changing shit
at all. It's just making it worse, really.
Yeah. So, what I mean, there's a lot of different things, different ways we can go through from that.
Well, we're kind of on the same realm of race. So, what was the problem with Liam Neeson's statement of the kill the black?
A black bastard, yeah. He wanted to kill
after somebody close to him was raped.
Right, was raped by a black dude.
He was going to go outside
upset and wanted to kill any black person just to get over with.
Okay, so we're going to act like we wouldn't feel the same way if one of our relatives.
And then I guess after like a while, I guess a week or so, I don't know, I'm not sure, of thinking that, he realized how wrong and how fucked up it was. And then that's how he came back to like denounce whatever the fuck.
Oh my god!
But we all have, like I told Woody, man, when I was in the 8th grade, I just had one day I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm tired of white people and Mexicans, and I said that shit out loud because I had a Mexican girl. This Mexican chick was my friend. And I was like, I'm just tired of fucking white people and Mexicans, and we were no longer friends after that. But I went through some shit where I just didn't fucking like them.
Why?
I have no idea. But after I thought about it, like, this don't make no fucking sense. and I switched back to my normal self.
Wait, so you just woke up one day like I just hate
I don't know.
this?
I can't remember what got me up to that point because Carl Springs so fucking racist. But
oh yeah, you was in college. Okay, I got you.
I got to a point where I was like, fuck this, and then
it must have been traffic or something. Yeah,
got back normal.
But I mean, that's a part of growing in life. You think differently about certain shit, and you evolve and you change. So I mean, as a child saying some shit like that, thinking some shit like that out loud, I mean, it can happen. It can happen. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't know how old Liam Neeson was when he said what he said.
I'm pretty sure he was a grown ass man.
He probably was. But I'll say this as a father. Well, we're all fathers, but I have daughters, right? And if one of my kids was raped and if they were raped by a white dude or a Hispanic dude or Asian or something,
the first one you see,
right? I would have anger towards them because you always put it as like it's a bad thing. Period. It's a bad thing. Period. But it's even worse. It's even worse if it's another race because you automatically
it turns into a hate crime.
Right.
It's a hate crime now. Like,
because you automatically think, oh, he must have been racist to the black race, so that's the reason why they did it.
That's why he thought it was
because
okay.
they were being a fool or just doing something stupid.
And that's why he said he thought that way because the way black people are portrayed in the fucking media is as evil as fucking people.
Yeah.
So what did he say that was wrong? Why is everybody now saying?
I don't think he said anything wrong. I think
I heard this man's career is now over, based on that statement.
Well, I guess the movie that just came out, the premiere for it, they canceled it.
Yeah.
Because
I heard about that.
Shit, but I guess it is Boycott Liam Neeson Day.
I just don't get it. Like, and it's kind of like people that this is weird, but I mean, kind of like when people like object to the death penalty.
Yeah,
it's like, wait a minute, bro. Like,
you objected to that, but what if some shit happened to you? You about to kill that motherfucker?
No, this is different though. This is a different situation.
I disagree with the death penalty because killing a motherfucker ain't gonna bring back whoever they kill.
You're right.
No, but it make it even though.
Does it?
Yeah, it cancels each other out.
Does it?
You ain't be living off the taxpayer's dollar, eating 3 meals a day. There's people homeless.
That's why I told you to watch that shit. It costs more to kill a motherfucker than it do to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea, but it costs a lot more.
Well, because of what? The death row, they're there for 20 years, 25 years, things like that. I'm talking about like automatically. As soon as you get the DNA evidence and all that.
Zip them up.
Every other country do it. It's like, you got 6 days, bro. You might as well get the shit in. And they don't even kill nobody. It's like smuggling drugs.
And just do it at the sentencing. Like, all right, well, we found you. You was and then just have a dude.
And just standing next to you with a 4-5 at your temple. We done? We done?
Yeah, you read it. We found you guilty. Pull it.
Bah! You save hundreds of thousands of dollars. I believe in but that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. It's like you can't really, you shouldn't be able to say anything or at least be able to empathize with the situation before you make a statement about it. Because everybody that says this shit is like, man, can you empathize with it first? Like, just imagine your child being raped by another race. That's like a good friend of mine, literally. I remember, y'all know him. I ain't gonna bring his name up. Good people. But I remember he told me a situation. His brother was out in town in Boston at a bar with his wife and was robbed by 2 black men. Mm-hmm. They actually pistol whipped this dude in front of his wife and robbed his wife. And he said as soon as he got in the house, and this person, if I told you this person, you would like, nah, this is not. But he said the first thing that came out of his mouth was, let's go get these niggers. Mm-hmm. He told me this. He was like, bro, that's the only time I've ever used that word. But at that time when he told me the situation, it's like, I can understand why you at that moment would use that word because you're working off of emotion.
But think about it. If somebody that you knew was raped or whatever happened,
would you use a racial term?
No. I'm telling you. No,
yes.
No. Hear me out.
I've created one.
Hold on. Hear me out. If you saw that happen and it was 2 black dudes that pistol whipped or whatever in front of you, whatever, same exact situation. I'm pretty sure you would say the same shit. Let's go kill these niggas.
I'm not, because I'm a black man. Those is niggas. Right.
And you would be using the term you wouldn't be using the term from a position of power, like, oh, because you're less than me, I'm gonna call you a nigga. You would be using that term as a true form of hatred towards them person. 2 niggas,
Exactly. So when he said that and he told me
why are we using nigga with black bastard?
I don't understand.
There's like a separate, there really is a
No, they're not.
Because he probably could have. Because he was probably thinking nigga, but black bastard comes out better.
And I'm pretty sure he said nigga, and he was trying. Yeah, he said
black
nigga.
Bastard comes out better.
Who the hell you? What is he? Wait, he is
Irish.
Oh, But that even makes it worse. No, nigga, I thought you meant like if he was from Britain or Great Britain or some shit, and he was like, I said that black bad, I would understand that. But you Irish, motherfucker, you use nigga. You just got on TV and was like, all right, I gotta clean it up. But
that's basically what it was.
Yeah,
I did see somebody come to his defense by saying, well, he kissed a black woman and
that's yeah.
Yeah, that's like saying slave masters didn't rape.
Right.
They loved the black women they was raping.
Right.
They weren't racist. They just like fucking them.
Right. that was. But you know what? That's the hysteria that shit brings up, man. When something like that happens, when you get a flashpoint event, you got people trying to justify it, and you got people trying to crucify it. That's just what happens. So people just want to. The bottom line, people just want to stir shit up and talk about some shit. And that's the bottom line.
Your point of the dude you said who used the word that one time. Fuck, I forgot where I was going. Yeah.
Well, right, yeah, all right. So he did use it that one time, but when he told me at that moment,
it was justified to you
based on everything he had told me, the whole story, and it's like, okay, man, I can truly understand why you would use that word out of anger, and he even said it. It was truly out of anger. So is
Liam justified in saying what he said?
Yeah, he is, man. Like I don't give a fuck like if anybody in your family or even close to you, something happens. When you're emotional, you can't really fault somebody for that. I give him stripes for actually saying it because he did not have to say that. He didn't have
to bring it up
at all. But he was at least trying to bring light to it. As I've been there before, in that mindset based on how I see black people portrayed as people that literally go around raping white women. Right. So how do you get mad? Actually, you should be commending him because he's bringing something to light. That okay.
He was able to see the air. It's like when you see, I don't know, when you watch those lockup shows, you see like former Aryan Nation, and all of a sudden they saw how they were full of shit and they turned their life around. Do you still hate them and persecute them from what they did in the past, or do you move on and try to?
Bro, in this situation now, bro, it literally is now. Everything you have to do from this day on is that has been recorded better be on fucking point. And somehow you not able to change your mind. Even though the brain was been created to evolve and shit, you're not allowed to let it happen.
It's now it's basically you're labeled. If you do it one time,
like Kevin Hart, like the gay comments. It's like, man, like, all right, that was years ago.
Who doesn't make gay comments?
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy how you have to be 100. You can't make any mistakes.
You have to be 100 PC now. You can't say everything you want to say.
Nah, I'm believing that shit. I don't give a fuck. I honestly do not give a fuck. Honestly, I just do not give a fuck.
Yeah, we can say what the fuck we want to say.
Oh, because I don't have a financial backing behind that.
Financial, but would you agree with Steve Harvey as in you shouldn't say certain shit to keep your money?
First of all, Steve Harvey,
should you be quiet and not stir the pot?
Well, you're honestly, when you think about it,
your money,
your freedom of speech goes as far as your paycheck allows you to go. Meaning, as in, the lower the paycheck, the less likely somebody's gonna give a fuck about what you say. And the fact is, if I get the bigger the paycheck, I understand that the higher the risk is for me changing my life if I lose this paycheck. So I have to now be more PC. So the higher you go financially in this country, the less likely you're able to speak what you want or say how you feel.
I agree. I agree with that. But at the same time, it's one of those things. This is where I look like Steve Harvey's comments when he's basically saying, "Hey, be thankful that you're here, that you're doing what you're doing. Don't fuck it up for yourself and your family. This and that." I get all that what he's saying, but what I don't like about him is where's the follow through? Meaning, okay, you can't say you can't be as black as you want to be.
Which is what
he told
her.
Right, he couldn't be as black as he want to be because these white people that are cutting the checks don't want to see that shit, and you will lose everything. I get it. When they are in charge, that's the rules you got to play with. But what are you doing, Steve Harvey and others who are in a position of fortune and influence? What are you doing to bring in the other people where you can be black?
Or be yourself. Really.
But that tells me Steve Harvey will never have it.
He doesn't care about that shit.
He'll never have it because
to each his own.
He's
I
too
made
busy
it.
worried about who's paying him.
Right, and that's like I said, that's the problem.
Absolutely.
You can't just shut it off there because now you're telling Monique and everybody else who's black, you're letting them know like, well, damn, there's nothing that we can ever do to get out of this shit. I'm gonna have to bite my tongue for the
shut
rest
up
of
and
my
cuddle
life.
the whole goddamn time.
Right. There's nobody that's gonna open it up for us and say, well, we can act this way and be ourselves and be whatever, and represent our culture. We can do this in the open, and the people who are in charge, they're not going to cut you off because it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's where they're not going that extra mile.
That's why I give a lot of props to Cat Williams.
Yeah, it's like I said in the past. When someone gets in trouble or when somebody's arguing, we always say, "Hey man, you and your girl got into it. Just walk away. Walk away." And that's the start. But where's the follow through? Walk away. Come over here. Do something else that's going to take your mind and your energy to do something else. So that, because you can walk away from that shit and jump right into some other bullshit because you walked away from here mad, so you jumped into something else. Now you done went out to the club, you done got into a fight, done messed around with some other chick. Now you brought some extra drama into your life where you didn't need. Instead of you leaving this situation and going to do something else. Like we never finished that shit out. Don't just tell me to walk away, or just calm down and walk away. Walk away to something else. Give me something else that I need to walk away to. That's what we all fall when we just tell somebody, man, if that shit is active, if it's act, man, just leave. Just leave. You're sending a loaded gun out into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're
right.
In a nuclear bomb. You're sending that shit out. Hey man, because we've seen it. You go someplace and somebody come in and they just there's something just off about them, man. In a club or whatever, they start drinking and they just start fights. They just start doing shit. Somebody might get killed, murdered, whatever. Later on, you find out that nigga just left a fight at his house with his wife. They got into it because whatever. He brought that shit to the club or to the bar, whatever. Some dude said the wrong thing. They got into it. He killed this man. But the bottom line with everything is when there's some shit like that and you have to walk away, do something else positive, do something else that's going to fix the problem, and then the last part of it, be prepared to go back and handle the issue. Don't leave issues open ended like that because they will pile up, and then like we were talking about. That's when you see someone snap or do something crazy. Like we talk about the mass shootings and shit like that. There's things that build up to those. You don't just wake up one day and just start doing that shit. There's shit that you've been taking over time because maybe you've been walking away every time shit got heated and you never finished nothing. You never went back with a sound mind to fix those issues.
There's a
right. I agree.
There's a new epidemic that I saw on the news, I guess. With young white men,
I heard this
18 to 25, 35. So I got to read into it because this dude wrote a book, and I want to see what the problem is and why they are the ones with so many mass shootings. And I guess to me it's like they're trying to make them victims, like they need help, like there's the young white man is under attack and now they're exploding and killing people at random. So, yeah.
Wait, they're under attack. I'm sorry. What was it?
No, that's what he's trying to say. They're trying to put it out there like that. Like, oh well, these white people don't just do this because they're just evil. They do it because there's something infiltrating their world that they don't like, and they're taking it all in.
Are facing
right. The new white man. White man is the new target of the world.
That is true, in a way. And what I mean is
true. Wait,
let me break it down. Let me break down. Now, if you're a white person, because you notice these white people aren't the rich ones. These are the lower middle class motherfuckers popping off guns and shit. You're not going to see, I mean, of course, when it comes to rich ones, they're usually, murdering moms and pops and shit for insurance money. I'm talking about the one doing these mass shootings. You never see them in a higher class, social economic class. You just don't see it. Dylan Roof to the poor. They come from poor families. I'm saying, in a way, I think that they've been conditioned to think that they've been promised so much. So if I'm a white man and I'm watching movies and everything that I'm watching is telling me that at one point in time, I'm entitled to these things. I'm entitled to have women around me. I'm entitled to be considered good looking. I'm entitled to these things. I think it conditions them to basically, when it doesn't happen, they start using outside influences, blaming their certain situations on everything but themselves.
Now, I do agree with that to an extent, but you also have to, these white people that are watching the new, like TV shows or whatever it is they're watching, they're getting this information from that the world is theirs. They need to look at why this shit happens. Like if it's usually if it's like in a movie or something, the white dude has money or some kind of influence or power, or he's a Hollywood star. He's a good looking, in shape or something. So if you don't have the money, get your ass in shape and look better. If you can't do that shit, then fuck. Right. It's just one or two ways. Either get yourself looking good or get yourself some money.
Why do you think black men don't do it? Even though we're on the opposite end of that spectrum, where that TV makes us look bad.
Because we've accepted the fact that
think about the stress
there's only so far we can go.
We have to go through. You don't see us blasting schools up. So you got to look at that you got to look at that aspect.
Well, because our entire life we've been told
you really ain't shit.
You born into shit, and this. I mean, think about like Black history. Black history is always the slave shit.
I'm so tired of this shit.
We've been taught at a young age throughout school, every
and
age, elementary, junior high, high school. It's Black History Month. Let's talk about the old slaves, folks.
So
that's you guys.
It keeps getting reinforced.
Right.
So we're always
reinforced because we've been fed the shit all.
Now it's not reinforced because they don't even study.
Yeah, it's different now. But that's what I'm saying. In the past, that's why Black people we don't go crazy.
Every February, Roots fucking came on TV.
Yeah.
Right, but you see what I'm saying? It's like
and for a minute they started playing Shaka Zulu and shit.
Yeah.
But
TBS
we're looking like that's some Africa shit. We're not in Africa.
Well, I like
that
Shaka
doesn't
Zulu,
have nothing to do with us.
Shaka Zulu was a good fuck.
Right,
but killed a lot. It just
but none of us are moving to Africa for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like none of us are moving there. So, but
Shaka gave me hope.
Right. Okay, but what I'm saying is when it comes to white people, man, or white men, just imagine. As a young person, you're looking at television and media, and somebody's telling you you're owed this, and then you get into the real world and you realize that, like when you go to the upper echelons of economic opportunities, shit like that, it has nothing to do with race. Mm-hmm. You start noticing these people only care about green. It has nothing to do with black, white, anything.
That's what Steve Harvey said.
Yo, fuck Steve Harvey. And then, all right, so
it's not a black game. It's not a white game. It's a money game.
Right, it is a money game. But if you are in the shit, Steve Harvey, if you're in the shit, open the money game up for others. That's usually like the problem with a lot of like the people that was dealing with Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. A lot of that beef was be the gatekeeper for all of us, not just you. You know, but it is what. Go ahead. What were you saying about white people?
Right. I think that's why you see a lot of them. Not a lot of them, right? But you see these white men doing this shit. It's clearly, you're right. There is something, an outside influence telling them this, and it's their own media. The same people that own these TV shows and music and all this other bullshit is telling them, "Hey man, you're guaranteed this when you get a certain age. You're guaranteed that." It's kind of like that one white kid that had autism, and he went around California. He just snapped one day. He put memoirs on YouTube. You can actually still watch him. I forgot his name, but he went around and he sat there. And was like, well, you know, I'm a white guy. I'm good looking, and I can't get no pussy. Nobody's giving it to me. You see what I'm saying? As a black man, we understand.
But he's not self-aware. He's not seeing. It's because I'm a weird ass dude and no one wants to talk to me. That's the reason why. So if you're good looking, if you're white and you're good looking and you have money and no one still wants to talk to you, it's because you are
he's been conditioned to think those attributes are top notch. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's conditioned to think that who he is good enough to get him what he.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They need to self-evaluate. They need to be able to look at themselves and evaluate themselves.
They can't.
The way they evaluate everyone else. They need to evaluate themselves.
Because if I'm looking at everything around me, it's telling me I have the attributes to rule the world. Then I get into the world and I'm like, wait a minute. None of this shit really matters. I've been conditioned. Now, a lot of white kids can actually deal with that. Those other ones we talking about, the shooting up and all that shit, those are the motherfuckers that cannot take the stress. And I think because we've been conditioned at a very young age to be stressed out. That means when you're thinking about your next meal or where your parents are at or the school you go to, making sure you're not going to get beat up or that's handling stress at a very young age. If I'm a white person in a situation where I'm not thinking about stress, I'm eating 3 meals a day, and then something stressful happens, I don't know how to condition myself to deal with it. We've had 20 years of this shit before we have to deal with serious situations of stress. They don't have none of that shit. Then you hit age 21, 22, and you start, I'm not getting pussy. I was told I was supposed to be getting pussy now. Like, somebody's got to die. Like, you see what I'm saying? Somebody's got to die because of this. It's just them not handling stress well, but being told that they're supposed to.
I agree with the stress part because the Parkland, goddamn, the shit that happened yesterday a year ago.
Oh yeah.
In Florida. It's kind of fucked. I can't remember it, but
it's too many, bro. It's way too many now. Like,
but anyway, it was a 17 to 18-year-old kid. So I agree with it's the stress. Maybe he couldn't deal with whatever the fuck stressors he had going on with him. Just he felt like shooting people. But I don't think it's because he wasn't getting no ass.
Well, no. I think a lot of things have to do with
stress of
he wasn't getting what he wanted. He wasn't getting what he wanted.
Right.
It may not have been ass. It may have been
something,
respect from somebody.
Exactly. Respect. I'm not getting respect I deserve. And then rather than blaming themselves in most situations, I don't give a fuck the color. Whenever you do a lot of bad shit, the first thing you like to do is actually project the blame outside of yourself to why you did some ill shit.
Right.
It's never your
else's fault.
Right. It's never your fault. So I think when you got like people like Dylan Roof, he walked in and killed that church, and he just I blame it's the black thing. It had nothing to do with that. It had nothing. You just found a way to put all your fucked up thoughts and aim it towards a certain group because of your socioeconomic status in your community. Black people are fucking us.
He could have went to a fucking Starbucks and started shooting white people.
Exactly. Yep. So you did that basically, and there's a lot of them. Like the reason why I'm in this social economic status because these black people are taking money from welfare. It's like, wait a minute, there's more white people on welfare than blacks, but you're using that in your mind to validate shooting black people or killing another person. Like these Jews, like they're fucking up the music industry and polluting our children's mind. Well, when most of the people that own this shit is white people.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I mean, I'm not trying to rationalize their thought, but I'm thinking maybe this is the way they feel about shit like that. Is like if you go to the pool, just say you go to a pool or a park. I'll say the park. You go to the park with your family, like a family reunion or some shit, right? And your family can, man, we on the park, we on the playgrounds, we under the Ramada, we're full up, and that's cool. It's crowded, but my family is here. Now, when the Mexican family comes in and the white family comes in, all of a sudden, that same crowdedness becomes too much to bear. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a smaller group of whites or Mexicans, it's too many. So they're good with a bunch of white people on welfare or whatever, but with the black folks and the Hispanics and the Asians and everybody else, that's a little bit too much. It's overcrowding. You know what I'm saying? We can overcrowd. It's just like you can be dirty,
it's meant for them,
but you don't want nobody else's dirty.
It was created for us.
Our
it's
system,
too many,
and you guys are coming in taking our shit.
Right, or the extra. Yeah. That should only be left for us. You know.
We weren't intending on you motherfuckers staying after we used you for the free labor. Like, all right. I thought
that was going... built. What are y'all still doing here? Bye. Bye.
We got some boogie boards over there. Take your ass back to Africa.
We should have made them build them ships so they can get the hell back out of here, man. Now we done put these niggas in certain areas and now they build.
And we're going to get back. We also, I want to talk about that later. The whole slave trade thing. Something is bothering me about that. We'll talk about that at a later date. But
about how the numbers are off.
You, the slave trade.
Yeah, like a motherfucker.
The numbers are way off. They didn't way in hell that many people came.
Stacked in boats like that, not eating for that's it's impossible. That's that in my idea.
Where are the ships at? Where's the evidence of?
We were already here. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue with the show. But we're gonna get on that.
But I'm with you on that.
But that's a good nugget to throw out there for people, to nibble on to the
next. Yeah. Well, yeah. We gonna get on it. We gonna get on it. I guess we can go status NBA and NFL. What are you talking about?
Well, that was a
Tom Brady and Mike Jordan.
Yeah, but we won't discuss it right now. But I do want to bring up one thing real quick about domestic violence and stuff like that, right? This is and all the movements, and I'll try to be as brief as I can with this. Like we're against domestic violence, right? That's the movement that's put out. We don't want domestic violence, right? That's like the worst thing ever.
Are we going into the NFL with this?
No. Not NFL. This is just regular shit, right? Everyday day-to-day shit. We're against domestic violence.
Yes.
But mainly against women. But it seems like we kind of glorify other shit that should be similarly
just as wrong.
Bad. I mean, like things like cheating, controlling behavior, alcoholism, drug abuse. Shouldn't we look at all that shit the same way?
You can't see it.
I play this.
Well,
Okay.
Because you can hide domestic abuse just like you can hide drug addiction.
Well, I'm just saying if you heard that somebody beat their girl, a man beat a woman, that's it. There's not, you can't come back from that shit, right?
Bow Wow getting his ass whooped. How do you feel about, like, do you look at that the same as a woman getting beat, or do you laugh because it's Bow Wow?
I laugh because it's Bow Wow.
I do too.
Well,
That's very funny.
Because I knew a dude I was stationed with at my first base in Texas, and the same shit happened to him. This chick went crazy and fucking clawed the fuck out of his face. And we laughed at him. Now, we should have been like, oh man, it's fucked up, but it was just funny for some reason.
Because you're a grown-ass man getting your ass whipped.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's getting your ass whipped, and then there's not fighting back and facing those repercussions. That's two different things.
No, that's another thing. If you can prove it, if you're being assaulted by a woman, beat the brakes off her.
Well, if you're being assaulted by anybody.
Right, exactly. Beat the brakes off of her.
Well, I wouldn't say to beat the brakes off them. I wouldn't say that, you know.
Why not? How was this fair? How you scream for equality?
How is it fair?
That men and women
do enough to get away from the situation,
like a nice good one in the stomach. They can't in the solar plex.
Like if a third grader,
hard push.
If a male third grader came up to you, like a male third grader came up to you, y'all might have been the same height, but he's in third grade,
right?
And he started trying to fight you. Would you beat his ass?
Don't even make it a third grader. Make it a freshman in high school, because these motherfuckers is tall.
Okay, a freshman in high school, and he's trying to beat me up.
Right.
All right, I would walk away. Especially if he's taller than me. I don't want him to get my ass. I don't want that on my record, bro.
But if you knew you could beat him.
If I knew I could beat him.
Would you beat him? You can't win that situation.
Has he assaulted me?
Yeah, he's
getting his ass
I'm beating the shit out of him. I'm beating the shit out of him.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you do that?
Because he put his hands on you.
Yeah. And I'm helping him out. This is to teach you to mess with a grown-ass man again.
But what about you?
I was taught that way.
But what about you made him think that he could come at you like that? Because this is what I think. I think women only attack men
who they think they can get away with it.
Not necessarily get away with it. I think when they lose a certain something about this guy,
respect.
That's what it is. That's respect.
I don't even know if it's respect. I think it's respect. I think it's just a feeling.
It's respect.
There's something about this man.
If you are willing to hit a man, or even you're willing to hit a woman that you're in a relationship with, you no longer respect that person.
Period.
Well, I agree. See, that's why I think it's different. Because I think a man can strike a woman because he's trying to assert his dominance over her. I don't think a woman strikes a man that she's trying to assert her dominance. If a woman strikes a man, she already has it. You see what I'm saying?
The dominance.
You've lost something. Not saying as a man you should be dominant over your
You've
woman.
lost the respect because she no longer respects you
as a man.
As a man, to let you be a man.
Because let's be real, we grew up with these. I've seen this where you literally had the woman running the relationship, right? Able to hit him, slap him in the back of the head, shut the fuck up, things like that.
But she's already seen that shit from you. There's already indications that you've given her to show her
that you ain't, and that
you're timid.
Yeah.
Well, not even timid. It's just there's no threat. There's no threat.
Right. But think about it. When you think of fear, there's an element of respect to that.
But I'm saying you wouldn't touch a hot stove.
Right.
But you could touch a stove that's not on. That's not plugged in. That's not working. Right.
Right.
That's the difference. Like a stove that's not working versus a stove that's on and hot. Two different things. They're both the same. You respect both of them, but one is no threat to you. There's no threat. The shit is broken.
Right.
That's what a woman does when they beat a man.
Right. So think about
it. But a man doesn't need to have that over a woman to beat her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying is the difference with men and women.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, what do you mean? Wait.
So basically what I'm saying is, as a man,
right.
if you find yourself in a position where a woman wants to strike you, like literally strike you and fight you, check yourself. Leave the situation, but there's that shit's broken. It's broken. I don't care what you say. We love each other, man. She's just like that. She's just a fighter. No, she's not for you. Because I guarantee you, there's a man that woman will find, or a partner that woman will find, that if she has that same level of respect, I guess it is respect.
Yeah, he keeps saying
if she has that with that person, she won't strike him. She won't strike him, not because she thinks he's gonna beat her ass, but because she values who he is.
It's because that man does not mirror what they see as masculine.
And
that's the only time you're gonna see a woman.
Well, not even that. a lot of men, when you lower yourself to a certain extent, you set yourself up. You lose that shit. Because I'll say this, the whole Bow Wow shit, if you watch when they're in the elevator, I don't know what they're arguing about.
You didn't hear about it?
Well, I don't even care.
All right.
Bow Wow,
I just saw a picture. I don't
Bow
even know
Wow
if
was
there was a
up.
fucking video.
Bow Wow stepped to this chick, stepped to her face to face, like he was ready to knuckle up with her.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think she saw that shit like, nigga, if you are that person that you can step to me,
yeah.
If you that person that can step to me
you
like that, no,
regardless
of his size, if you are gonna step to me like that and try to get in my grill, like you trying to knuckle up, like bitch, do something. I've lost shit for you, and I will fight you back.
He lost his moral grounding.
He lost that shit. I don't know. I guess it is respect, but
and moral grounding.
He's lost that shit.
Absolutely.
Now Bow Wow could have stood in there as a man. He could have stood in there, had the same argument, kept his distance, but showed that, hey, I'm serious when I'm talking to you about whatever the fuck is going on. No. And she would have still kept that respect for him.
Bow Wow fucked up. And what I mean by that is the reason why he got his face scratched up is they were at a party, and the woman that he was with, Shaq was at the same party. And while they were there, according to sources, she was all over Shaq the whole night. Okay. So as he were leaving, he's like, why were you basically on this other... First of all, because he's richer and shit like that. But the reason why... But that's the ill part. Reason he fucked up is because once a real man or a real player is going to be like, look, I'm going home with the bitch. I'm going home with her. I don't mean to say bitch, I apologize. But I'm coming home with this lady.
No, I hear all that.
That jealousy shit is a mark of.
But even throwing all that to aside, I get what you're saying. But even putting all that to aside, the way I look at it, she looked at him and said, "You saw me talking with Shaq all fucking night. You didn't say a fucking word
until we get
to
along.
Me or to Shaq. If you have a problem with me talking to Shaq, you deal with Shaq." Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but that's her mind. Like, you ain't gonna get up in Shaq's grill like this.
But
so
you're gonna get in my woman's
so
grill.
I've lost respect for you because you won't fight this nigga, but you gonna fight me. I'm fucking your same height. This nigga
and I'm female.
2 feet taller than you and 100 pounds more than you. Right. So she lost that shit from him. That's what left Bow Wow's ass scratched up. Because if she really looked at Bow Wow in that respectful way, she would never have done that shit to him.
Right.
Just like a man, if you really respect your woman, you wouldn't beat her ass like that.
Right.
You just
he
won't.
could have, if she gave a fuck about how he felt, he could have said it, and her been at a distance. You know, maybe I was wrong. But when I ain't see what the shit y'all talking about. But for him to get up in her face like you saying, I'm picturing it. All right, nigga, this little motherfucker getting in her face talking shit, but yet.
You didn't say shit.
Nothing.
You get no respect. You lost a lot of respect. A woman will see, and women pay attention to that. It would have been player if he would have basically did either that, or addressed it at that moment when she was talking to Shaq, like, "Hey, man."
Or he could have talked to Shaq, like, "Hey, Shaq, listen, man. I don't know what the hell he could have said, but worked it out with Shaq." And then, I mean, that's not going to stop her from looking at Shaq, but it's going to stop Shaq from going back and forth with her. But if the Shaq is flirting with the chick in front of you and shit, he don't give a shit about you either.
Right.
So I don't give a shit about you. Shaq don't give a shit about you, but you fight me.
Yo, this guy keeps catching L's, man. I really feel bad for that kid. But all right, but based on what you were saying before,
why not? He did it to himself.
Yeah, there you go.
He did.
He did that to himself. What else did he do? The whole fucking private plane shit.
And then paying those people to chase him.
Bow Wow challenge. Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah, everything that happens to him, he does to his fucking self.
Yeah, that shit is lame. But you're saying that domestic abuse, basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're always against that, but we're not against all the other shit that could possibly even lead to it. You know what I'm saying? Like cheating. If a man is cheating on his woman, we're like, yo, that nigga's a player. If a woman's cheating on her man, we're like, damn. Hey,
no, this double standard thing.
Yeah, there is a double standard.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, we don't.
Oh, that shit's been erased now.
I'm saying.
It's turning to side niggas.
This is what I'm saying. If a woman cheats on a man, or a man cheats on a woman, whatever. Oh, we can come back from that. That's work that shit out. There's something missing. Work that shit out. But domestic abuse, oh, that's it. This motherfucker's the worst shit ever. Don't ever fuck with him. You know, like I'm saying that because there's people in Hollywood or whatever who have lost roles, lost careers because they put a hand on a woman.
We're not talking about the lead up to this shit.
Right, but I'm saying, like, all that shit is wrong.
Right.
All that shit. I mean, but like I said, you don't look at it as a cheater or someone who's an alcoholic as the same level.
The lines of a sin is a sin.
Right. That's what I believe.
Right.
If you steal a fucking, like my uncle used to fucking tell me, if you steal a fucking pack of gum, it's the same as killing somebody. In the eyes of God,
right. They're both wrong. They're both wrong.
But we always look at shit in a certain degree of fuckery.
Severity. The severity of the fuckery.
Yeah.
Yeah, the severity of fuckery. Right.
There's always degrees of shit. It's just like the whole death penalty shit. Like, you wouldn't want to give the death penalty to somebody who
stole a piece of gum. Like, you dying like this nigga over here killed like 8 babies or some shit like that. I mean, there's got to be some. Well, wait, but what I'm saying is the lead up to it.
I think it depends. Like I said, because domestic abuse is a result of what? Like loss of respect.
So there's a lead up we're not talking about.
Well, I'm saying, but like alcoholism is what? That's dependency on something, right? So that's not a big deal because it's you're dependent on that.
It's a disease.
Cheating is what? Oh well, a moment of weakness or unhappiness. So we can accept. We can make excuses for that shit. Every drug abuse. Oh well, life is hard, so we make an excuse for that shit. So all that shit is recoverable for. But domestic abuse, there's no recover. There's nothing you can recover from with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that there's a reason for that is because we don't talk about the lead up. Now, of course, there's horrible men out there.
Oh yeah.
That just going out there just beating up women.
So I'm saying, you think once a man beats a woman, that's it forever. He will always beat women.
That's just the life we live.
Perfect example. My father is one of those. Asshole beat my mom. He also beat my brother's mom.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know about third wife. Fourth one, she left his ass within a month. So an asshole's an asshole.
Right. But then there's men, right, that they have these one moments where you're like, this nigga had a straight track record for 34 years, and then you see him on film choking somebody. And it's like, wait a minute. We're not going to talk about what led up to it. You're right. Because domestic abuse is be all end all. We saw it. That's all we need to hear. Because truth of the matter, if you really think about, like, I'll bring it up, but the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation. Like, let's be real. Do you think that this nigga was, like, sitting there, like, looking at Rihanna, like, oh, I don't like your lipstick, and just start going haywire on her? Do you think, for example...
You're not saying she pissed him off enough to whoop her ass.
I'm not saying, even if he did that, you still don't whoop somebody's ass for that. But there has to be a lead up. It wasn't just that. We need to address the whole...
Now, the lead up could be manufactured in that dude's head or the woman's head.
Right, right. But
it just maybe something else that pissed them off, and now they're putting it on that person.
Right. So we need to be thinking about mental health as well as domestic violence. That needs to be highlighted the same way, if that's the case. But you can't just, and like I agree with that. You can't just keep saying like domestic violence is the end all be all for a grown man that does some ill shit. Now he has a pattern of doing that, then that's just an asshole.
Right.
But a lot of the cases, you got these dudes that just these one nights. This chick, she's looking at it like I'm an innocent person, and the dude's like, because think about it, men, we don't use words. We very rarely use words when expressing ourselves. We're built like that. We don't like to use emotion very much. We don't like to show emotion because it kind of ties to weakness.
Right, but I believe that. I believe women speak more from emotion, men speak more from fact. But at that moment, when men are emotional,
it turns straight to violence.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Walk away from the shit, get out the situation, and then come back where you can talk.
Address it.
When you can talk with a man without the
which
emotion.
we do, which I've done. When you get to a point where, and in a regular situation with a grown man, I would have two-pieced you at this moment. But I know with the consequences of this, so I'm gonna walk the fuck away. But think about that though.
But walk away knowing that I will have to
address the lead up to basically these domestic violence situations need to be sought out. It can't be just this person wigged the fuck out.
Right.
So you're right. Domestic violence should be highlighted, but it also should be highlighted was maybe the alcohol abuse that was related to it.
Maybe the meth use or the coke sniffing.
And all that other shit. You can't just leave it on domestic violence. And all you want to leave with.
Cheating could have been in there too. Hey, she know you're cheating. And you didn't like it, and you beat her or whatever, or vice versa.
Right. So and that's another thing. That's the double standard. Even with that, when you think about like for example, I've heard women literally, like for example, a man got cheated on, right? And a woman said some shit like, "Hey, he goes to work every day. He comes home and he's tired. He doesn't treat me with any type of respect. Or he's always tired. He doesn't care about me, or he doesn't buy me flowers like he used to. So that's why I gave my attention to another man. Right. And you would see women like, you know what? He should be working his hardest to make sure that he includes you. And it's like, let a nigga say that. Let a brother say straight up like, I cheated on her because she ain't paying my bills or buying me shit no more. It's gonna be straight up, you are a piece of shit. So if you add this to domestic violence, men are always going to be on the bad end of it.
Because the roles are different. As a man, you're not looked at to be taken care of.
No, you can't. No, you can't have both ways. No, you can't be saying I want equality at the same time I want somebody to pay for my dinner.
I get that.
You can't.
And you know, I guess to just real quick, what I want to throw in there, like when I'm talking about domestic violence versus everything else. If there was a person, there was a potential date, right? And you had a girl, a friend that was a female, and you were setting them up with a male, right? She had a few males to pick from, and you said, and she was like, well, tell me something about each one of them, right? And you said, well, this guy, he's cool, but he does a lot of domestic violence. She'd be like, fuck that nigga. And he said, well, what about the other guy? Well, he's cool, but he cheats. Nah, fuck him. Well, this guy right here, he's cool, but he's real controlling. Nah, I don't want him either. This guy right here, he's good, but he's an alcoholic. Nah, I ain't fucking with him. This one's a drug abuser. You know what I'm saying? If we were choosing a mate, they would all be in the same tier. Like, you would look at all of them as the same way.
I see.
But when it happens, we don't look at them as the same way. You know what I'm saying? We can accept everything else. But and I'm not telling anybody to accept someone who beats.
Are you saying
I'm not saying that.
They didn't know that the person was going to beat their ass, or because nobody knows that they get into an abusive relationship?
Right. I'm just saying, like, everything. If you put everything, to me, they equal out as far as something that you wouldn't want from a mate.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
But we accept everything else,
not gonna know
except
either.
from being from
Right.
abuse.
Yeah. I think a lot of them you're not gonna know.
Because I'm asking you, if you had a girl that you was really vibing with, right, and then one day she just smacked the shit out, like she pushed you down the stairs, you'd be like, I'm done. Same chick. If you find out she was fucking everybody else,
I'm done.
You would say, I'm done. Same chick. If she was controlling, Mike, you gonna wear this shit today? You gonna do this? You would be like, I'm done.
Maybe, because I'm scared. I'm scared. Sometimes I'll get depending on situation.
Give me your debit card. Give me your car keys when you come home. You ain't going no place unless I tell you.
Right, I'm done.
You're not eating that shit.
They all fall into the same
If she was like, man, I'm good, but I just gotta, every once in a while, I gotta hit this line of coke, and I gotta put this shit in my arms, you'd be like, I'm done. Same thing. If every day when I wake up, Mike, you know I gotta have my fifth or whatever, then at noon I gotta be drinking this, and you'd be like, I'm done. You see what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't accept any of that shit. You wouldn't. None of us would. But we want others to accept that shit from other people, because those are the small problems versus the big problems.
Because they all have excuses tied to it. Think about it. For example, alcohol. If you're alcoholic, they call it now a disease, which I think is bullshit, like motherfucker. But you have a disease because being a crack addict is, you're a horrible person, but alcoholic being a disease. Anyway,
right, but to me, they all in the end they all have the same amount of pain, because domestic violence has physical pain, which that sucks.
Yeah.
Right. But all the other ones can be mental pain on you. You know, like you may be insecure. You may start feeling like, man, they're alcoholic because of me. There's a lot that goes into everything.
Right.
Mental pain will last long after the physical pain is healed. You know, so that's to me. It's just because domestic abuse has physical and mental. Is that what makes it worse than all the rest of them?
No, I think it's a physical element that you can see. I think when somebody's walking around with a black eye, a woman's going around with a black eye, it's worse than
and the possible fear of death.
Yeah.
Well, but all the rest of them,
good domestic abuse.
But all the rest of them have that too.
Yeah, you said it though, and it's on record.
But at the end of the day, a woman can die from this shit.
Right, but you can die.
A man can die.
But you can die
at the hands
from
of another person.
If someone's cheating, you can get AIDS. Die.
Wait, hold on.
If someone's alcoholic, they can die.
How come nobody's bringing up the
Alcohol
fact that like women are beating men's ass too? Like,
yeah, we just said.
No. There's a domestic violence situation where the man, right, is being abused. Okay, I just want that to be said. We just don't say it. Yeah, we don't.
Because as a man, you get looked at.
Said it, Mike. Remember I asked you if she beat you, you wouldn't want us to be with her, right?
Yeah, you just said.
You say no.
Because they don't have male shelters. I realize that they don't have shelters for men. Like if I got my ass whooped and I need to be leaving the house for security and all that, the niggas gonna be laughing at me.
Don't be calling nobody. No, like, hey man, she beat the shit out of me.
You see,
Nigga, what? yeah. You're right.
That will happen.
Yeah.
right.
It's a good chance that you're gonna get ridiculed and.
Right, so I mean, domestic violence is bad, but when everybody thinks of domestic violence, we always slant it towards women, though. We always associate that term with the way women are being treated.
But also, if you look at it, I think most relationship couples, they're not even. You know, usually the man is either taller, bigger, stronger than the woman, so it doesn't look like it'd be an even fight. Like, there's no way this little female is beating this nigga's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Like, my wife happens to, she teaches dance fitness, so there's a lot of homosexual men in that shit, and she would come home and tell me stories of dudes beating their boyfriends up. And it's like some real shit. These dudes like these motherfuckers the same height.
Right, that's right. It's an even fight. So you let the shit go. It's even. Let it go. That's what we feel. It's even. Hey, protect yourself, nigga. What's wrong with you? You know. But man and woman, you don't look at like
even
this
two
big
lesbians.
ass nigga.
What about two lesbians?
If they're even,
yes, that is wrong. That's very wrong.
Fuck it. If they're even, y'all. If it's an even fight, it's a fair fight. If it's a fair fight,
because they're the same
we're
sex,
more acceptable. If it's a fair, if they're same sex. And they're same
but what if
height,
they're not? And it's the man, like Bow Wow and this chick, they about the same height anyway.
Yeah, but he's still a man.
One of Holly Holmes, she was dating Holly Holmes though, and she started beating your ass. Like
that's for she has the unfair advantage over the man.
Kind of like that black dude that the football player just recently. Y'all. No. I'm talking about the Chargers.
The one that knocked out the chicken.
No, I'm talking about the white woman he's dating that's been abusing this big ass black linebacker. Y'all ain't seen this story? Oh man, y'all, we'll get back to that. But yeah, you definitely need to look at this. She's literally picking on this dude. Like literally, he comes home and he's like, he now released some report where he's like, she calls me the N-word and all this.
And as wrong as it is, the reason why people laugh at situations like that because they understand like you could kill her if you wanted to,
but you can't because domestic violence is highlighted.
Well, then you're accepting it. If you have a way out, and see, I don't want to say that because I don't want to be victim blaming.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's what it's saying. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. But that's not what I mean. But in that situation, even if it's just you have the physical prowess to contain her. Before she does damage to you, you should probably exercise that here and there, and then leave the situation.
You know, come back and address it with the adult man.
Right, address it with her. I mean, maybe y'all don't have to be together to address it. Maybe you can address it later because, like you were saying, that could be who she is. She may be a beat everybody in a relationship.